That's right.
But you know what you can't do is sit down and be logical and reason with your brother who you got a problem with.
Teach,
They can't do that though. That's what a man can do. Anybody can pick up a gun and shoot somebody.
That's right.
A kid can do that. It don't take anything for you to do that. But a man will be logical. A man will say, bro, I got a problem with you. We need to solve this. And talk with his brother. And reason with his brother. That's what a man would do. But you don't see that out here today. You see emotional men who want to fight at everything. You stepped on my shoes, nigga, I'm going to fight you. You looking at my girl who I lit, walk around her butt cheeks hanging out. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you on everything. That's a problem, bro. We cannot be like that. You understand what I'm saying? So to go back to your question and start with the music. The music can change. You can listen to music that's not going to influence you to do those things. And God told us, beware. He said, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners.
That's right.
If was you raised with your father or your mom, or both? Your mom? Did your mom teach you to pull your pants up, walk a certain way, be respectful of your elders? But if you listen to a song that say to hell with everybody, F everybody, eventually what are you going to start saying yourself? You're going to start doing the same thing, right? Now, was you raised with a mom who taught values in black people? As in, you should have confidence in yourself. You're a young black man. You can do what you want to do, right? But do you know the music you listen to says opposite?
Right.
The music you listen to says F them other niggas. The music you listen to says gang, gang, gang.
Bring it out.
I'm going to ride on my ops. You see what I'm saying? That ops, the music is not talking about killing Chinese or fighting Arabs or fighting a white man that came and took your community from you. That music is to inspire you to go fight against your own people, the brothers that look like you. The brothers that look like you and me. That's what that music is influenced our people to do. You get what I'm saying, bro? Does that make sense what I'm saying so far? So that's what the officer was trying to show you. The music starts there. What you got? Go back to 15 to 33.
Yes, sir.
15 to 30. I'm going to finish this officer. Come back up. It's about time to roll? Okay, go ahead. 1 Corinthians 15, 33.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived.
He said, be not deceived. Now, real quick, where's your father on this song? You call yourself, you see where it says, Judah, are you African American, so-called? All right, what does it say on the left side of that? It says Judah, right? So what you have to understand, why is this so important? Because I know you might be like, all right, bro, you showing me the Bible. I know what the Bible is. You telling me all this stuff. Why does it matter? When you read in the Bible, God said his chosen people would discontinue from their heritage.
That's right.
Right? We will give me that Isaiah 1 and 3. We will lose sight of who we are today. Because if I ask you your nationality, you're going to say I'm black, or you're going to say African American, or you might say Christian, or something else. But you're not going to say I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
You understand that? I'm going to show you what God said about that. Isaiah 1 and 3. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3.
Check this. Go ahead.
The ox knoweth his owner.
Speed it up.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
The ox and the donkey, they know their home, they know who they are. These are not known to be two intelligent animals, are they? Dumb animals, right? That we know. Read.
But Israel did not know. But Israel did not know.
Stop. He said a ox and a donkey. Dumb animals, they know their home, they know who their owner is. But God said, but Israel, the Israelites, they don't know. Read.
My people do not consider.
And God said, we don't even consider who we are today. We walking around here, man, I'm black, I'm African American. We ain't ever thought, why did we go into slave ships in the first place? How come everywhere you go, it's always niggas in the hood and Hispanics in the hood? We never thought about that. We never thought, how come when you go to higher up in the government, you don't see us? We start thinning out. And if they do have our people in there, we pawns. We never thought to that. You get what I'm saying? We never thought, how come our community smell like piss and shit everywhere and it look like this? But when you go to South Lake Carroll, when you go to North Dallas, Allen, it's clean. We never considered those things. That's what God is telling you. He said the Israelites, they never consider who they are.
Right.
Read on. Is that it? Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Yes, sir.
Because I want to show you something, bro. You got to understand before you leave. I want you to understand God called you Judah. God calls you Judah. That's the most important thing you got to understand. You're not black. You're not African American. Your nationality, what you was called before they took your fathers off the slave ship, was Israelites.
That's right.
Deuteronomy 28:68. Good question. I'm going to show you how we know who this is, all right? Deuteronomy 28:68. Watch this. So when you read, jump to 15, just want the top part.
Yes, sir.
15 real quick, all right? I want to make sure I keep the brother's attention. 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
So I want you to listen close to this part, all right? This is going to answer your question. Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is Moses speaking to the Israelites. He said, if y'all did not listen to God, read.
To observe, to do all
do
his commandments.
So he said, not only do you have to observe, meaning read the laws, but also do them. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Verse 68. So God said, if you didn't listen to me, curses were going to come upon you. He spoke to the children of Israel only. He wasn't speaking to everybody. All right, so you familiar with the story with Moses splitting the Red Sea? You heard that story growing up? So remember, he spoke to the Israelites in the wilderness, right? I'm gonna prove to you that that was us. That wasn't everybody. That was us. Who was in the wilderness, who walked through the Red Sea. Who Moses said, if y'all don't listen to God, curses will come upon you. Now I'm gonna show you one of the curses that happened. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Watch this.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Stop. The Lord said to the Israelites, I will send you into Egypt again. What was we doing in Egypt? Do you know? We were slaves to the Egyptians. That's why Christ had to save them. Remember, the plagues came upon the Egyptians to set the Israelites free. He said, I will send you again into slavery or bondage. Read. Read. Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
How?
With ships.
He said he will send you back into slavery with what?
With ships.
With ships. Who do we know went into slavery on ships? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
We're the only people who went into slavery, bro, on slave ships. People can say other nations went to captivity, yeah, but they didn't go on slave ships. There was nobody else deemed cargo. You see this photo right here? This is how we was packed in the slave ships. For years, crossing over the ocean. Years, this happened to us. God said this, so to answer your question, this is how we know. Because God said this would happen to you Israelites. Read.
I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
You wouldn't see that Egypt no more again. Read. So guess what? We know it's not talking about the land of Egypt. It's talking about bondage. Read.
And there ye shall be sold.
He said, and there what?
Ye shall be sold.
And he said, there, when you got off the slave ships, we was going to be what?
Ye shall be sold.
We will be sold. Who else was sold off slave ships?
Bring it out.
Please, somebody tell me one. Nobody else was sold on slave ship except for black, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Teach out.
If I ask what an auction block is, guess what? It was your fathers who stood on them. Your mothers, your children stood on auction slave blocks. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
To your who?
To your enemies.
My brother right here at the pump with the red hat on. What's your last name, bro? What's your last name? You. Yeah, he ain't listening to me over there.
Hey, Tamika about to get out the car.
Okay, cool. All praises. So guess what? Let me give you. Remember, he said we will be sold into our enemies. When we were sold, you ever wonder why you got the last name Johnson? How come there's a million Johnsons? There's black and white Johnsons. How? How come there's a blacksmith and then there's a white man named Smith? How come there's a white man named Hernandez and there's a Mexican named Hernandez? There's a Puerto Rican Hernandez. There's a Dominican Hernandez.
Right.
And there's also a white man named Hernandez.
Right.
Where did Cortez come from? Johnson, Smith. What's another common name? Black. What's your last name? Reagan. Where did that name come from? There you go. It came from our slave masters. That's why God said what? You will be what?
You will be sold unto your enemy.
He told us we was going to be sold off. We was going to be sold off. In slavery, have you seen 12 Years a Slave? Have you seen The Roots? Goodbye, Uncle Tom? Bruh, you need to go watch one of those movies, bro. When you get time, if you get time today, Goodbye, Uncle Tom is on YouTube for free. Roots, 12 Years a Slave. Go watch it because that's your history. Right. So it's going to further prove what we bringing out the Bible. Because you'll remember your question was, how do we know this is us? God said, go to 46 now. verse 46.
Yes, sir.
Where you going, sis? Okay, all praises.
This
Verse
is the book
46.
of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So the curses will be upon you for what?
For a sign.
For a sign?
And for a wonder.
What do you use a street sign for, bro? What do you use a street sign for? Yeah, street, like the signs right here.
Direction.
For what?
Direction.
Directions. If I say, how do I get to the gas station? You're going to have to tell me, take this street, bust a right, make a left over here, right? Using the street signs.
That's right.
God said the curses that upon you will be for a sign.
Teach
But
y'all.
when you wonder, how come I live in the ghetto? How come I'm living paycheck to paycheck? How come my daddy wasn't raising me? How come my dad locked up in jail? And my uncle in jail? And my grandpa in jail? And my brother in jail? And they dying on the street corners?
That's
and we
right.
having shootouts in our neighborhoods. Why is that happening here and not everywhere else?
That's right.
God said these curses will be upon you for a sign. 32, verse 32. He said it's going to be upon you for you to look and wonder why. It's the curses, bro. This is how we know we are the children of the book. Nobody else go through what we have to go through. Nobody has it hard like we do. There's not one nation that can say they have to go through the things that Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans go through.
That's right.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role